Hey Squishies! Back again with another vlog. This is Steven Universe Season 4, Episode Fnarg and Flugel. Because I no longer have any idea how to count these. Between the 2 episodes that got aired as 1 episode, and the arguably 1 episode that got aired as 5 episodes, numbers mean nothing now. But this is the New Crystal Gems and Storm in the Room. And wow, there was some whiplash here, because we went from a really light, fun, funny episode to let's start with the light, fun, funny episode. It's a Connie-centric episode and a Peridot-centric episode, and that's really all I ask for from life. Those are easily my 2 favorite characters on the show at this point. They're just great. Turns out interaction between them is alright. I think they work better in combination with other characters. Basically, one of the things I really like about this is, like, all season, I feel like we've been exploring ways in which stories can be told that Steven isn't there for. We got a little bit of that in mindful meditation. No, what was it called? Whatever, the amazing episode. The fusion breaking meditation with Garnet song, that episode. Mindful Education. And we got a little of it there. We got a little bit of it with Buddy's book. And now we're getting it here. We've gotten it with flashback episodes. And this is essentially a flashback episode, but it's a flashback episode to something that happened super recently. So I'm hoping we get more of that, just because I feel like there have been times, especially where Connie is concerned, where the show's laser-tight focus on Steven sometimes works against it. Especially because, one of the show's biggest themes is, empathy and understanding other people and putting other people's needs first and that kind of thing. And that's hard to do when you're so narrowly focused on one character. So it's nice to see them do a story that's essentially Steven-free. Steven-light. But yeah, this was just a really fun episode. Lapis really shone in this one. I really enjoyed, her impressions of the other characters. They were terrible, yet really good. Her Amethyst was not like Amethyst at all, and yet really hilariously Amethysty. Her Garnet sounded nothing like Garnet, but it was the essence of Garnet. She was just really entertaining in this one. We got more Pumpkin Dog. Pumpkin drinking the soap made me laugh. More accurately, Peridot's response of, yes, Pearl does like soap. That was probably the funniest line of the episode for me. Just in general, Peridot was top form, humor-wise, this episode. Her sunglasses, her whole, Pearl is so sensitive, how dare you say that I'm like her, I'm leaving. Just good stuff. Really enjoyed her. And, Connie was Connie. Kind of showcased how Connie, in the absence of Steven, from a writing perspective, in the absence of Steven, Connie is a little, lacking as a character. And I say this as somebody who, like I said, Connie is one of my favorite characters. But I feel like so much of her characterization has been wrapped up with Steven that I feel like I don't know her that well when he's not around. And this episode was good for filling some of that in, but it also seemed to be struggling a little bit to find her early on. Maybe that's because she was trying to emulate Steven and she's really bad at it. Because she and Steven, she's Steven's foil. She is so unlike him in so many ways, and in ways that are positive for both of them. That her attempt to emulate Steven just kind of flattened her out. Once she gets back to being her, stops trying to emulate Steven and starts being Connie, she's great. I love her, little rant about not knowing how Steven manages to handle being the adult for superpowered children. I love her response to Lapis's dismissive, we're so much older than you, and Connie's just like, then act like it. Connie has always been very mature, but with a little bit of, a short fuse, not necessarily for anger, but just for, strong emotion in general. Anger, anxiety, worry, etc. And so it was kind of good to see that being put to good use here. And then, them figuring out their own strengths, which is actually, again, tying into the show's themes, where, trying to be like someone, Connie said it, you can't solve problems while you're being someone else. You can only solve problems the way you solve them. And, they kind of epitomize that. Once they start doing things their way, they do a pretty good job of it. That new sign really is really nice. The old one was pretty generic. The new one is really good. I do hope they fixed Yellowtail's car, though. That was not explicitly made clear. I assume they did. I hope they did. But it's never actually stated or shown. Other than that, yeah, just a fun little episode. Love the bit where they kind of did their remix of the old opening with Connie running up and jumping to that kind of almost chiptune-y. Although I don't think that was chiptune, but it kind of had that feel of the opening theme. But yeah, overall just a really fun, light episode. While Storm in the Room was a storm in the room. That was some heavy stuff. I'm a little curious about whether the mom that Steven talked to, the Rose Quartz that he talked to, is that completely made by the room from what he wants Rose Quartz to have been? Or does the room have access, for Rose Quartz specifically, everything else it makes is always based on Steven's desires. But Rose Quartz owned that room. Rose Quartz lived in that room. And we don't know how much of Rose Quartz is in Steven's gem either. Is it possible, because I've been talking about the show finding ways to show things that Steven wasn't there for. And the obvious place to build up toward for that is the shattering of Pink Diamond. It would be interesting, to say the least, if Rose's room turns out to be capable of displaying some of Rose's memories. And if that's what it made her from. Most likely, though, no. It was what Steven wants her to be. And it's really kind of touching, She plays games with him, she's supportive, she teases him just a little bit. Another callback to classic cartoons. The series started with Looney Tunes, it's had some other references to classic cartoons, and now we see, the classic Peanuts cartoon gag, and the whole thing is played with the sound effects and the way it's animated and everything, just like it's not just like those scenes in the comic strip, it's clearly being played like those scenes in the Charlie Brown TV specials. So that was cute, a little random, but cute. And it was, his mom, one of the things he wants his mom, he doesn't just want his mom to comfort and support and love and so forth, although he obviously wants that. He wants a little bit of teasing, too. He wants fun. Like he has with his dad, and maybe doesn't always get with the crystal gems, although he does get that from Amethyst. But Amethyst is more like a big sister than a parent. But of course, it eventually comes around to him asking the big question, what's up with Rose's hypocrisy regarding bismuth? The way he puts it in this episode makes it sound like she shattered Pink Diamond after she bubbled bismuth, which would make some sense, because otherwise why would bismuth not have mentioned it? Because it kind of changes it kind of changes the unfairness of what happened to bismuth from being unfair to being straight up hypocritical. If Pink Diamond was shattered before bismuth started talking about shattering. But man, I don't know. Steven, he's having a rough time emotionally with all that stuff, but again, why is he keeping bismuth bubbled if he feels this way about his mom doing it? Like, is the problem that she bubbled bismuth, or is it that she didn't tell the other gems about it? And his concern that his mother created him just so that he could clean up her messes that she didn't want to. I mean, we know that's not true. We saw the tape, like the room version of his mother points out. And that becomes particularly interesting if it is what he wants, as opposed to some kind of thing generated from the room's memories of Rose, or his gym's memories of Rose. If that's the Rose created entirely from what Steven wants, then he wants to be told, what about? But I like that he confronted it. I liked that he faced it. I liked the little callback to Mindful Education when Connie is worried about her mom and starts to meditate a little bit. And I think that played into this. I think without Mindful Education, Steven would not have had the confrontation. He would have run away. But after what happened in that episode, he faces her, he accepts feeling bad, and he confronts it and pushes through it. And maybe that is what he wanted the room to do. What he wanted, essentially was projecting out a part of himself to say, are these things you're upset about, like, do you really think that's true? So that he could step back and say, well, probably not. I think that's all I got on these two. Like I said, good pair of episodes. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.